hanging by the thread.
Sam McCune joining us here. Ron Brown, you wrote about him. Going from Youngstown to...
Easier when you've got help. Well, you do. You've got Fitness Together. With the help of Fitness Together's fantastic trainers and their personalized fitness programs, you can get fit and lose weight. You can choose from small group training or private one-on-one sessions. Regardless, Fitness Together will get you the results you're wanting. They know you are better than a generic fitness routine. This new year, invest in a new you. With the help of the personal trainers at Fitness Together. Log on to fitnesstogether.com/Omaha today. Fitness Together in Legacy West. Get fit together.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit ignition.
And then
nothing. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Want to earn $500 a month or more? Deliver the Omaha World-Herald. Routes are available in your neighborhood, Monday through Friday early morning routes or Monday through Friday afternoons with weekend morning routes. All you need is reliable transportation and insurance. Call 402-444-3124 and leave your contact information for details. That's 402-444-3124.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed, and as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
It takes 12 years to create a graduate. It takes about the same time to create a dropout. The difference between a child becoming one or the other could be you. Studies prove that reading to a child regularly dramatically improves reading skills, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are 4 times as likely to graduate. So United Way is calling for 1 million volunteers over the next 3 years. We're asking you to step up, make a pledge, tutor a child who needs help, mentor a kid who needs someone on their side, volunteer to read to children, make a difference. Because when a child advances, we all advance. Entire communities improve. The path to success or failure starts long before graduation day, and the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Be a reader, tutor or mentor, give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge. Go to liveunited.org now. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
The Omaha World-Herald has immediate openings for full or part-time distribution positions in Omaha and in Dodge and Washington counties. The job duties include managing contractors and overseeing customer service. All you need is a valid driver's license and a reliable vehicle that is insured. Proof of insurance is required. The Omaha World-Herald offers competitive pay and benefits, including a 401k plan. Apply now at www.owh.com.
Conversations with Suzanna, broadcasting live on the World-Herald Live app or on omaha.com. Catch her every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, empowering you to look for and accept the good in everything. The future is bright. We'll take a look at what's to come in yours. This is Conversations with Suzanna.
Yes, you are exactly where you need to be. This is life. This is Conversations with Suzanna on the World-Herald Radio. You can find us at omaha.com/Suzanna. And if you're there, you get to see a picture. This room is full of women who are powerful. This show is all about mothers. And it's whether you're a mother of one or none and a mothering energy. You know, mothering is such an important state. So find us every Wednesday right here, and you download us. You listen live if you want, or you go back and you download it and pass it on. It's all about getting you to be a little bit better every single day. We give you information that you're going to hope that will help you to settle your life a little bit better. Today is motherhood. And just between you and me, ladies, motherhood is a whole nother can of worms. I mean, I believe no matter what you read, what you do, that mothering energy is the true healing energy of God. And I think it's the greatest gift we do. And so I'm going to go around the room, and we're going to ask you to say your name and why are you in this room. And we're going to start with you because you were first.
Hi, my name is Kelly Connolly Lawler, and I am the mother of 3 children that are young and full of energy, and that's why I was invited, I believe, to be on the show today.
And how old are they and what sex?
I have 3 boys, and they're 3 years apart, 8, 5, and almost 2.
Wonderful planning. Yes. Wonderful planning. Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Anna Minardo.
Anna Minardo. Is that Italian by any chance?
That is Italian.
Boy, you look Italian, honey. Let's just talk Italian. Go ahead. Tell me about you.
Well, I've got a wonderful son who is a 14-year-old boy, and I adopted him from Vietnam when he was 4 months old.
Marvelous. Vietnam. Okay. And you, young lady?
My name is Michelle Logsden, and I am not a mother by official definitions of
you
having
just didn't
given
do the
birth.
labor.
I didn't do the labor.
But
I am the oldest of 9 children in my family.
Yeah.
I have 18 nieces and nephews and 13 and a half great nieces and nephews. Plus, I'm a nurse, and I've been a nurse for many years. So I mother in a lot of different roles.
You mother in a lot of different roles. And one of the things that I believe, it doesn't matter whether you bear the children or not. I think every child needs that mothering love, that gentle loving that we, as women, know how to give. And there are some men now. There's a lot of men that. But, ladies, before we start, I'm going to ask you, just tell you, do you know when Mother's Day started? Because I looked it up. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1908.
Wow.
And it was Anna Jarvis. She's from Crafton, West Virginia. And she started Mother's Day because her mother had just passed away. Oh. And her saying is, the mother is the person who has done more for you than anyone in the world. You're always guaranteed of a mother. You're not always guaranteed of a father. That's why we have God. But you're always guaranteed of a mother. And even as we adopt, that is the most loving gift. But I teach that adoption is part of the divine plan. I'm sure you feel that. So we're going to start with You, say your name one more time for me.
Anna.
Anna. Tell me what made you, how old were you when you adopted your Vietnamese baby?
I'm trying to remember here. He was 4 months old, and I think I was about 43.
Wow.
When I brought him home.
So you took on this at a much later age. So you really are never too old to do this, are you?
No. I was young.
Yeah.
I was young. I waited until I was wise.
Yeah, well, I can't claim that. So I'm so proud you did. Okay, so what made you choose Vietnam? Well, how did you come about finding a baby?
That's a good question. Yeah, I was working with a local adoption agency, a wonderful agency, Adoption Links Worldwide, which in the past few years is no more, but has been absorbed by Lutheran Family Services. And at the time, Adoption Links was doing international adoptions. And I went to an information session just to make sure that adoption was not for me, because I pretty much thought it was not. I was a single mother. I was single at the time. Still am. I had been married and I was divorced, and I really wanted to be a mom. So I went to this session to sort of disqualify this option, and I left. As I was leaving, I said, okay, where do I sign? Of course I'm going to do this. And Vietnam was one of the countries, and I just remember sitting there, and it came to me, I'm going to adopt a son from Vietnam. My child is going to be a boy, and he will be born in Vietnam. And, of course, Leo was not born for a couple more years, but that feeling just came over me, and
Wonderful.
A peacefulness. And,
Wonderful.
Yeah. What was it? I connected with the idea that Vietnam is a country that sadly is divided north and south, and my background, as you said, is Italian, and Italy is a country that is, for better or worse, divided north and south, and I felt a connection with that.
Now, how did you bring together the culture? Because the Vietnamese culture is very different than ours. Tell me do you integrate the culture? How do you
As much as I can, yes, very much. I was able to I went to Vietnam to get him, and so I absorbed as much as I could in terms of pictures, and I bought small crafts that I've given him at different times. I even have some left that he doesn't know yet, that I give him at different birthdays or different milestones. I bought him a beautiful little Vietnamese outfit to wear when he was a baby. Food is so important, and that's very much alive in both our cultures. So I learned how to make some Asian food, and for many years my Asian food came out tasting Italian. But he saw that I was trying, and we're getting a little bit better at that. And we have some Vietnamese friends. We're friends with other families who have adopted from Vietnam.
Marvelous. So there's a group that you link with to help you to understand.
Yes.
Do you think it's harder to adopt someone from another culture, or would you suggest that? I mean, there's so many in
I think adoption, you have to be led by your heart, your gut, by something. And I never considered a local or an American adoption. This foreign international adoption always seemed the right choice for me. Like I said, I made that connection, and that felt right, so I followed it.
Marvelous. So. And has there been any difficulties because he's not white or Italian? I'll be honest with you. I worry about that.
I do too, I'll be honest with you. And we'd have to ask him.
Okay.
And I think it is something he thinks about, but he doesn't talk about it much yet. So I just stay alert.
Okay. Well, you know, I believe there's a divine plan, and that he chose you before he chose life. I believe in all of that. I believe he knows the number of hairs on my head. I lost a couple today, but he knows all that, so I'm pretty sure he understands everything else. Let's go to you next.
All righty.
All right, tell me your name again.
Kelly.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And how long were you married before you decided to have children?
18 months.
18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was apparently 3 years apart.
Yes, they
Pretty
are.
well planned.
Yes.
Pretty well planned. You didn't want to have this double diaper duty.
Right. Well, there was potty training going on while the newborn came home, and it was pretty disastrous, to say the least.
To say
Yes.
the least. Tell me, what do you find as a mother of 3 boys, or as a mother, that is your greatest obstacle?
To be patient. It takes a lot of patience.
Mm-hmm. And how do you do that?
Pray.
You don't know. Wait till they're teens, honey. Let me just tell you.
No, that's what I keep hearing. They say small kids, small problems, and you know, the older they get, big children, big problems.
Well, let's not really plan it. We don't need to plan it. I think all kids. But have you noticed how now it's with the same man?
Yes, I've been married, yes.
How long?
We've been married 10 years in November.
Okay.
We just celebrated 10 years, yes.
So, have you noticed the different characteristics of each child?
You know, a lot of people say their kids are so different from one another, but I think my kids are a lot alike.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And, and in all of your disciplining, what do you find is something that really works? Really works.
Choices.
Choices?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, a situation where I think a child feels a little bit more free when he has a choice and feels empowered. So I really try and take a step back and maybe offer a choice when my child doesn't want to do something.
Marvelous.
Like get into a car seat or...
Okay. Offering choices.
Yeah. Would you like to hold your book or would you like to hold your truck?
So you'd sort of do that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I wish I had thought about that.
And then you sort of pin him down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, yeah.
Do you find that there is, do you do the corner thing? Do you sit
We
them
have
in the
timeouts, yeah. I don't spank my children or anything like that. No.
No
Yeah.
timeout.
Just timeout
timeouts
and talking through and talking about the impact, like the choice had, or the decision they made had. Like, you know, you hurt your brother when you hit him, you know, so really to develop that empathy skill and feeling and realize that their behavior and choices do have consequences. So
consequences. That's a great word. Great word.
Yeah.
Consequences.
Yeah.
And for you, how do you handle disciplining?
A lot of the things Kelly's saying, and boy, she's a wise mom.
Yeah.
Well, we're 14. We're a teenager now, and we talk through a lot. And consequences. If it's the consequence might be less time online. That's a big one. Less video game time. Not being able to do something with a friend. So,
Marvelous.
yeah.
Marvelous. I love the tracking ability on the phones. I mean,
well, that's true.
I mean, I just love that. You were where? My kids would have been so outed with that. So those are the Jill. Now we come to you. And how long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse for 37 years.
37 years. And what department do you nurse?
I have done, this is the beauty of nursing, is like I've done a lot of different things. I've worked pediatric intensive care, so I carried my love for small children there. I worked on the medical helicopters for a number of years. I did home care for more than 10 years. And I currently work as a nurse manager in a clinic on the base.
Okay. So, not that we want to go this area, but in case we ever do go this area, and our children are brought to the hospital, what would you say a good thing for a mother? By the way, the nursing is the most mothering profession I think there is. I mean, God bless nurses. But how would you guide parents who have a sick child or something like that to handle it?
A couple different points. You know your child best.
Right.
And you need to be their advocate no matter what. No matter what those doctors and nurses say, you know them. You know if it's bad. You know if this is outside of their norm. And it behooves you to put your foot down and draw your line in the sand, to mix a bunch of metaphors, and say, no, this isn't normal for my child, and I'm worried about this. Be an advocate. Be aware, but don't kill yourself studying Google links and, oh my God, he has brain cancer because he has a headache today. You know? The other thing is in today's age of modern technology, I highly recommend that everybody start a personal file on their computer that has your dates of immunizations, medicines that you're on, allergies, specific doctor visits or surgeries and stuff like that you can print off each doctor's visit and hand to the doctor and save yourself a whole bunch of stuff.
Brilliant, brilliant. Out of curiosity, when you see mothers in stress, and you don't get stressful, right, because you're a nurse? I love that. I love that. Can you teach that to a few of us? But tell me, as you're being with the in the hospital atmosphere, how would you guide a mother or a father in the way of the panic mode? How do you help them get through that? Because the children read them.
Absolutely. And I don't know how many times I told mothers of small children, anxiety is contagious. And they know. I often tell the story of my sister-in-law who we were visiting family, and her small child had an ear infection, was not far enough into antibiotics, and had been screaming for 5 hours nonstop. And she stumbled into my room at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Can you just please take him for 5 minutes? I need to sleep a little." And he laid down with me and was instantly asleep. It's just the difference in the stress and the anxiety between the two people. You know, walk away if you need to. Find people other family members who can sit there for a little while so you can go home and take a nap. Eat healthy. Don't eat junk from the machines all the time. Take care of yourself so that you can be your best self for them. And find somebody that you can talk to, that you can honestly talk to. If that means texting your friend while you're sitting there and saying, "I am so afraid," but don't just bottle it up and carry that out there.
The kids sense that.
Share it. Push it out.
The kids sense that. Wonderful, wonderful.
And be honest. Bottom line with children, always be honest. But if it's going to be something bad that they need, wait till the last minute to tell them. But don't lie. Don't say, "It's just going to be a little mosquito bite. It's just going to hurt for just a second." Say, "This is going to hurt, but I'm going to be here to love you."
Children know.
They do.
Whether we lie to them or not. Have you girls ever had to lie to your children or anything?
I never would.
Really? Oh, please, I wasn't bad. That was horrible. Tell me what you're...
I agree. I think you just got to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
It's just all for the best, because they're gonna figure it out anyway. They're really smart.
Aren't they smart?
Yes. They are.
So I can see in a hospital mode that, coming in, that they would hear, it's not going to be a problem, and they can sense your fear and then go through it. We're going to take a little break right now, and we're going to come back. This is Conversations with Suzanna. We're talking to 3 marvelous women here who are guiding us in taking care of our kids, giving us their thoughts. Once you have a child, you're an expert. If you don't have a child, you're an expert. We're all experts, and we're all listening to each other and growing. We'll be right back. Conversations with Suzanna on the World-Herald Live.
Make plans now to play in the 2015 State Games of America. Choose from more than 60 sports. Meet and compete against athletes from across the U.S. Enjoy the star-studded opening ceremonies at Memorial Stadium and 2 nights of activities and entertainment at Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's the nation's premier amateur sports festival, and it's open to all Nebraskans. Register or find more information today at NebraskaSportsCouncil.com.
Are you experiencing back pain, headaches, neck pain? Do you experience pain in your shoulders or knees?
Do you have nagging pain that keeps coming back? Using a whole body approach to care, integrating various soft tissue techniques and therapies, spinal and extremity adjustment, as well as acupuncture and rehabilitative exercises, Dr. Heck strives to empower every patient to take control of his or her own health and future. Working toward your personal goals is his priority. Want to get out of bed without pain, play with your children in the backyard, compete for a state championship? Dr. Heck will help you get there. Located in West Omaha at 18111 Q Street, Suite 104. Nebraska Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture provides a state-of-the-art facility for the highest quality chiropractic care and physiotherapy available. All forms of payment are accepted, and their team will submit all insurance forms for you and help you recover the most from your benefits. Visit their website today at nebfamilychiro.com or call 402-891-2348 to schedule your appointment today.
Pick up the Omaha World-Herald every Tuesday for our new Omaha Drive section. You'll find the latest in pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and more for sale in one convenient place. All vehicles are sorted by make, model, year, and price for easy searching. And check out OmahaDrives.com 24/7 for used and new autos.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present. When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium. When I grow up, I want to be a warm place on a cold day. When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash. When I grow up, I want to be a bike that races around the country. When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail. I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch. I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the
On the next episode of Recipes for Disaster.
So we've got our neighbor Paul coming over tonight for a barbecue, which is why I prepared a delicious lemon rosemary steak marinade from my special collection of old family recipes. To make sure the steaks are extra tender, I left them marinating out on the counter overnight, just like Nana used to.
Maria may mean well, but without food safety, it never ends well. Always thaw or marinate foods in the refrigerator at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, or you could make your friends and family really sick. Maria's neighbor Paul didn't think twice about the steak he ate until he was presenting his company's financial forecast to the board. That's when a sudden bout of food poisoning made it explicitly clear that profits weren't the only thing on the rise. Watch Recipes for Disaster at foodsafety.gov. You'll learn the right steps as Maria does everything wrong. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
You are exactly where you need to be. This is Conversations with Suzanna on the World-Herald Live app. We're here every Wednesday. We're going to empower you with ideas that will make your life a little bit easier, a little bit smarter, and you'll feel really cool with the knowledge you got. If you are not able to hear, please go online to omaha.com/Suzanna, and you will be able to hear it anytime. If you have family overseas, they haven't heard it, you might want to listen to it. I love what we talk about. By the way, I am a mother too. I am a mother of 3 stepchildren, 3 natural born, 3 by my husband, 2 by me, and 1 by us. And a lot of times parents think it's because it's them that are the problems, but I believe each child comes in life with their own lessons. And so even my stepchildren had to deal with me, so it's all part of the life choices that there are. So I'm going to, right now, I thought it was really funny during commercial. Please say your names again.
Kelly Lawler,
Anna Minardo,
and Michelle Logston.
So in the commercials, I was saying, tell us of hindsight, when you made a boo-boo, what you would do different. So in case anyone's out there in the middle of this crisis, how would you handle it? I bet you see a lot of things mothers do that might drive you crazy.
You know, when you said that, the first thing that came to mind was when I first moved back to Omaha. I was working in Wisconsin for a while, and I had just moved back to Omaha and was living with my brother while I was looking for a house. And so I really lived with my 2 nephews and a niece by him. And I was looking for houses. I was in a new job. I was stressed. They were driving with me somewhere, and they were being normal 7 through 10-year-olds in the back seat. And I just lost it. I was like, you guys, knock it off. I've had enough. Stop. And then it instantly felt so guilty for yelling at them because it was an expression of my stress, not with regard to what they were doing. And their response was priceless. And I think it's something that we all need to remember is they said, Mom and Dad do it all the time. Don't worry about it, Aunt Michelle. we have to, part of what we model for our children too is limits. And acceptable behavior. And so, you know, modeling that, okay, you just walked over the line here and you need to respect this, is not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. How about for you, young lady?
Yeah.
Now, I love how you said you tried to forget all of that. I once got so mad while I was driving, I made my stepson, I hope my husband's listening, he's listening, but I let him back in the car. Get out of the car. You know, because we didn't have all this information. You know, it's when you're raising children, it's a in the moment kind of thing. So tell me about something you believe you've done.
I've been thinking about this recently. When my son was a baby, he had a hard time sleeping during the night. He couldn't sleep through the night. And he was a baby, then he was a toddler, and he's still crawling into my bed. And everybody is weighing in with their advice. You need to leave him, let him cry it out, Ferberize the baby. He's got to learn. You've got to set limits. It's not good for him. It's not good for you. And the doctor even said, no, he's got to have his own room by now and his own bed. And I did go through short periods of time where I would let him cry it out, and I'd bring him back to his room. And then I just gave all that up and said, you know what? My gut says you want to be here. This is fine. Come on. And I let him do that, and always in the back of my head thinking, oh boy, the doctors are mad at me. I shouldn't be doing this. And you know what? At a certain point, I can't really remember what age it was. Maybe it was 3, 4, something like that. He just said, you know what? I need to sleep in my room now. And that was it. And I wish I had not gone through that period of doubt. And
the doubt is a killer, isn't it?
I knew in my gut that was the right thing to do, even though the doctors and everyone was saying
Dr.
no.
Spock, some of the things he had in that book is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. He was crazy. but it was so, you know, okay, that's good. That's great. So trust your gut. Trust your gut.
When they'll tell us when they need to be with us, and we need to hear them. That's what they need. Yeah.
Listening to a child is probably a good thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, I'm working on that. All my kids are gone, so I'm okay. Go ahead, tell me.
I think like there are times, as much as I think patience is the most important thing, it's just I've lost my patience. And as Michelle said, you know, there are limits, and then you hit that wall, and maybe that's okay every now and then.
I'm pretty sure that is okay. But what do you think it means to the children when you lose your patience?
You know, I think they're a little scared because I'm pretty easygoing and roll with it. And then all of a sudden this monster kind of comes out. And
so are you teaching them limits? Wouldn't that be good?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that would be good. So let's get the guilt right out of there.
Right.
You know, I call guilt man-made.
Mama guilt?
Yeah, I call it man-made emotion to control man. It is not with God. Yeah. So we don't do guilt. We do the best we can in the moment. So when I kicked my stepson out of the car, I let him back in. But it's still at that moment, I just needed a breather. Yeah. So that breath is really important. So as you go forward, what is it you think is the best gift you give your kids?
I think the freedom to be themselves and to be creative and to explore their interests and their passions. and just honor where they're at, as opposed to trying to
please,
make them
are you real?
into something.
Come on, get out of here. No, I mean, that sounds too good. Does it sound too good? I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
That's just it. I want them to be uniquely who they were made to be and meant to be. You know, I don't want to impose on them. Like my oldest is, you know, he can't throw a ball to save his life, but he plays the piano marvelously, and you know, it's kind of,
there are ball players and there's
piano players. Exactly,
and we need them both.
Right, and I can't. You know, my brothers were, you know, always on the sports teams, and it's just a whole new world for me as a mom of 3 boys, because they don't fit that, you know, athlete image or interest, or, you know, so it's interesting. Yeah.
What would you say is your best gift that you give?
We laugh every day.
We
laugh every day.
Marvelous. Do you come up with bad jokes? Tell me how you do that.
If that's what it takes, I do. No, we just end up having a good time at some point in the day. It just makes me so happy to connect with him at the end of school or whatever, and I just put everything aside, and I sit and watch Doctor Who with him, which is not something I would have done with anybody else, and I've come to like it.
That's called love.
Yeah.
That's called love. Star Trek, I could understand, but Doctor Who, not there at all with that one. And what would you say your greatest gift as a mothering figure has been?
I'm a listener. And that's both in my nursing and with the kids as I've grown up. You know, I was the person that the nieces and nephews always came to when they had stuff they were really worried about, and that they needed to talk through. And hopefully they still do, you know, that we share those things. And with the patients and the people that I interact with every day, thoughtful, patient, observant listening is paramount.
Well, I'm going to come in on here as a mother, and I would say the thing that I might not have done the best and that I would want to do better is be present. So often when you're with the kids, you're thinking of something else you got to do, and you're thinking of something and so the kids are hungry for you, and you being present, I think would be the thing I would work about. And I work on it now, to be present in my daily life and to be honoring the moment as the gift of God it is. And so being present would be my thing. We, I believe, are going to take another break. We're coming back, and we're going to have some other stories of motherhood here and mothering love. This is Conversations with Suzanna on the World-Herald Live app. And we will be right back.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't seen your lap in months. And even more stuff. But still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online. For like a year, she couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of a brand new outdoor grill being hurled off a 20-story building. Now a stylish glass coffee table. An electric guitar. These are the things you could enjoy, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Visit EnergySavers.gov and get tips on how to save energy and money. Then do things like switch to Energy Star light bulbs or Energy Star appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. So this doesn't happen to the recliner you've had your eye on, or this to the treadmill on your wish list, or this to the shiny new bike your kid's been asking for. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Jacqueline. Yes, Mom? I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment. Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Mom, what? Huh? What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Omaha World-Herald has immediate openings for full or part-time distribution positions in Omaha and in Dodge and Washington counties. The job duties include managing contractors and overseeing customer service. All you need is a valid driver's license and a reliable vehicle that is insured. Proof of insurance is required. The Omaha World-Herald offers competitive pay and benefits, including a 401k plan. Apply now at www.owh.com.
You are exactly where we need to be. This is are we talking while I'm talking? What is that thought for the day? All right, hold on. This is Conversations with Suzanna on the Omaha World-Herald Live. And as you can tell, we are live. We are checking out things. We are doing things. What was that you were talking about, that little book?
Well, I had an idea that I would keep a diary and write down one thing a day that happened that was either funny or meaningful or, you know, just something I didn't want to forget. And so I've been trying to write down something each day.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
How
so I could look back and go.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, like, wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I do have a lecturer on earlier who wrote the book, 8 to Be Great. She said with her kids what she did every day is say 3 things you're grateful for.
That's nice. Mm-hmm.
And everyone would have to come up with 3 things, and they couldn't copy each other, and they couldn't use the deal. So I'm working on that. I'm grateful that you ladies are here, by the way. I thought what we would do is talk about our mothers and the lesson we learned from our mothers. As it said from the one who created, everyone has a mother. So we all learn. And, you know, a mother is not exactly, you know, I had an aunt. I had a cousin who were very much more a mother than sometimes my mother was. I had a big sister who took care of me, you know, so there's the mothering energy is not limited to the birth mother. So I'm going to go around and let's tell us what you've learned from your mother and say hi to your mother. Go ahead. Start with you.
My mother, the 9 of us kids are 10 years apart.
Oh, sweet
And they're
Jesus.
all single births.
Was she drunk?
No, but my dad was, which was part of the problem. What my mother modeled to me growing up was resilience and faith. I don't know how you do 9 kids in 10 years with an alcoholic husband who, until I left high school, was really not very present in her life. He did become sober and was a joy in her life until he died a couple years ago. But her inner strength to hold together, to be an amazing role model for all of us, of resilience and faith was fabulous.
Now I understand she's a role model in the tech world too. Is that correct?
She is 80 years old and she has almost any technological device that you would want. And she switches from device to device. She checks the weather in everywhere. And she texts all of us, all of her children and her grandchildren on a regular basis, sending us pictures. She's recently had foxes in her yard. So every day I get 3 or 4 pictures throughout the day of the foxes in her yard.
So she keeps present in your life.
She's present in all of our lives that way.
And brings you a smile every day. That's what a good mother does. That's
Absolutely.
what a mother does. Tell me about your mother. Was she all Italian?
Yes, of course. Yes, we're very Italian.
Are you all Italian?
Completely.
100%?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
the first in my family born in America.
Wow,
Yes.
how exciting.
Yeah.
So they came from the old country.
Exactly.
So they must have had those old, strong ways. What do you think?
They did. My mother had chronic heart disease from when she was a little girl.
Oh.
The rheumatic fever because there was no penicillin yet at that time. So she had a serious illness as she was raising my brother and me. And my mother had 3 meals on the table every single day, no matter what. And that sounds like a small thing, but now that I'm a mother, it's huge. It's huge. So her constancy.
Consistency
is just really a big message for me. My mom died on Mother's Day weekend 5 years ago. It will be 5 years this Mother's Day. And she was older and not healthy when my son came to us, and she embraced him about 200%. She was an utter presence in his life, and I remember her as elderly and frail as she was, down on the floor playing Transformers. And she learned all the Transformers' names.
Love, yes.
That was love.
That's true love. That's mothering love if I've ever.
She really modeled for me, just enter the kid's life. And
Enter
be there.
the kid's life. Do you sit down with him every night and have supper?
Yes. Yeah.
And who do you sit with when you have supper?
My dogs.
Which are children. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. And do you sit with your family every night?
I do, and I have to say, I'm very blessed. My husband does all the cooking in our marriage. So,
Sweet
honey,
Jesus.
I love you. Yes.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm married to the perfect man.
Okay.
I'm here to say that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, mine's going to
Perfect
top yours,
too.
yeah.
All right.
Because mine cleans too.
I like that.
Yeah, does the laundry. I wouldn't know how to turn on the laundry thing. So tell me what gift your mother taught you.
Hard work.
Say hi to her, though.
Hi, Mom. My mom is Sue Connolly, and she is retiring today. She's been working for 38 years for Allegiant Health, and she's in the laboratory. She's a chemist.
Wow.
Yeah, she works in the chemistry and hematology.
Wow.
Yeah, she spends her day looking at blood.
How much things have changed, though. It's amazing.
Yes, and it's her last day of work, so... Mom, thank you for everything you've done for me. You really were a great role model, and hope you're having a good last day at work.
And it means a lot to hear thank you from the kids, whether they know how to say it or not. So tell me, what did you learn from your mother besides gratitude? What have it else?
The ability to keep going, even when things are frustrating or hard, or you just keep on keeping on. Yeah, she's an upbeat person. She doesn't really get down, She always has that look on the bright side of life attitude.
So do you feel guilty about getting down?
Sometimes, because really life is too blessed, to stress, or as they say, or
too blessed to stress.
Yeah,
I'm too blessed to be stressed. I say that on my a lot of radio stations. But how do you handle yourself when you have meltdowns? Because we all have meltdowns.
Right.
Okay. And I think, as we said earlier, I think it's really important that the children see we're mortal. We're not, because we set the standard for our children. Okay. So I'm going to take another break in a few seconds, and then we're going to come back and talk about handling the meltdown. Okay. And one other thing we want to ask is, what would you say to yourself as a child about life? Okay. There's a whole psychology thing about the inner child. and to embrace it. When you have a meltdown, your inner child is coming out and being alive, and we have to embrace it. So we're taking a break. I believe the break is in 30 seconds. I'm trying to do this so well on time. This is Conversations with Suzanna. We're talking to three beautiful women in the room who are telling us their personal stories to help us learn how to be a better person every day, how to be that loving energy that so many of us need. I mean, teachers and nurses and doctors, or that we're all needing loving Adele. You know, a kind word to someone can make their day or break it. You don't have to be their mother. You just have to be that mothering, loving energy that they so need. We'll be right back. This is Conversations with Suzanna. We're heard live on the World-Herald live app at omaha.com/Suzanna. You get to see what these beautiful women look like. I have a blonde in the studio. Men have been walking by, checking her out, but, you know, what can I tell you? We'll be right back. This is Conversations with Suzanna.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is the sound of a brand new outdoor grill being hurled off a 20-story building. Now a stylish glass coffee table. An electric guitar. These are the things you could enjoy, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Visit EnergySavers.gov and get tips on how to save energy and money. Then do things like switch to Energy Star light bulbs or Energy Star appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. So this doesn't happen to the recliner you've had your eye on, or this to the treadmill on your wish list, or this to the shiny new bike your kid's been asking for. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Go, Caleb! Come on, hit a homer, Jesse!
Let's go, guys!
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow, jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's true. I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obvious. Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present. When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium. When I grow up, I want to be a warm place on a cold day. When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash. When I grow up, I want to be a bike that races around the country. When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail. I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch. I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
It's amazing how fast our time has gone. Before we go back to the questions I said we were going to ask and all of that, we have this wonderful card that says motherhood is not rocket science. And then you open it up and it says, it's brain surgery on astronauts during a lunar launch while reciting the Declaration of Independence backwards, only with less logic. I love this. I love this. And we all talked about being the good enough mother, that we all want to be the good enough. So being a mother is not, it's also about adopting. Tell us the information you found out about adoption while you're at it before we go.
Well, that we were talking about international adoption, and that the fact is it's not as easy for an American to adopt internationally now as it was in 2000 when I did that. But Holt is a longtime adoption agency, and they are back in Vietnam providing in-country services for orphans and children in need in Vietnam, which is great. And they are also, since 2014, doing adoptions for special needs children, children over 5 years, and sibling groups. And locally, of course, Lutheran Family Services helps families adopt, and also helps find foster families for children, and they do fabulous work.
That's foster care. My secretary had foster care at 103 babies.
Awesome.
Wow. 103 babies.
Wow.
And foster care, I think, is a great gift. I think adopting is a great gift. Being a mother is a great gift. Being a nurse is a great gift. If you were telling yourself what to be as a grown-up, as a mother, what would you tell yourself as a child? Go ahead, start.
Fun. Kids love to have fun, and that's what we've got. I think I got to keep the focus on the fun.
We forget about enjoyment, don't we?
Yeah, we stop laughing.
Forget Christ wants us to be joyful.
Right.
Yeah, okay, what would you do?
It's okay to make mistakes.
Oh, really?
It is, Suzanna.
Really? So I can forgive my past. I don't think my stepson will, but I can forgive my past. You know what? I have a saying, though, that if you learn from your mistake, it's not a mistake, it's a lesson. And we have a hard time allowing ourselves to learn. And as a mother, it is a constant learning. Constant learning, and you have to think of other tricks and other affiliations to do it. So, yes.
Well, and kids have so much pressure, I think. They get the message a lot that they need to be perfect and high achieving in so many areas that I think it's a relief to them to see that adults make mistakes and life goes on. And it means that when they're adults, they can make mistakes. So my mistakes are one of my best gifts to my son.
Awesome. I'm going to use that quote a little later, if you don't mind. I'm going to call my stepson and tell him that. All right, go ahead. Tell me what you would, as a child, say about loving and the nurturing you do. What you think is the greatest gift to a child.
I think that being present, laughing, playing, probably the most important for me is take risks. Walk on the edge. Go out there and try new things. Don't get stuck in a rut.
What if your kids yell at you, I hate you? Have you had that happen yet, guys?
No, I'm in fear of it. It will probably happen.
Okay, what have you?
I believe so. Somewhere around age 3, it's kind of that magic age where children become a little devilish.
And what do you think they mean when they say that?
I want things to go my way, and you're not letting it happen.
and isn't that neat that as grown-ups we have to know to let things just flow over us and not own it as our problem. We do the best we can. We are the best we need to be in the moment. I want to thank you ladies again for coming in and making a show about motherhood and letting us all know that we're all mothers to each other. They say families, friends are the families you choose. I'd like to choose you to be in my family. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Suzanne.
This
Thank
has
you.
been a wonderful show. Thank you again. God bless.
God bless.
This is Conversations